The Zelvari prided themselves on perfection. Long before humanity built its first stone circle or learned to shape bronze, the Zelvari sailed the rivers of plasma between stars, collecting knowledge like fireflies in an endless jar. Their archive floated at the edge of the observable universe, a colossal lattice of living crystal that shimmered in colors no human eye could see. Inside it, every fact, every pattern, every truth the cosmos had ever whispered was recorded. They believed it complete, immutable. For millennia, Zelvari archivists traveled to distant worlds, gathering starlight reflections, cataloging the spin of black holes, tracing the migration of dust between galaxies. When they found young, struggling civilizations, they simply watched from behind cloaked lenses, observers only, never participants. Then they discovered Earth. Humans were new and wild, still dreaming up stories of gods and thunder and lightning. Yet even then, something in our raw, chaotic nature fascinated the Zelvari. They recorded us like one might record a curious bird. Every love letter, every deathbed confession, every half-finished melody hummed beside a cooking fire. 1,000 Earth years passed, then another. Humanity built telescopes, fled to the moon, mapped exoplanets. Eventually, one small vessel, a repurposed mining freighter named Endless Guile, drifted past Saturn's rings and into deep space, carrying a single human named Etta Quinn. Etta wasn't the best pilot or the best scientist, but she had been the only one willing to sign up for a one-way journey into the unknown. Her ship carried paint tubes, 3 battered journals, and a guitar missing its B string. The Zelvari detected her tiny craft and scooped it gently into their archive hangar, curious to see this creature up close. Etta stepped out, blinking against the strange violet haze. She found herself in a corridor so impossibly vast that it seemed to stretch into eternity. The walls glowed with shifting equations and diagrams, orbits of distant moons, detailed breakdowns of subatomic forces, catalogs of extinct nebulae. To Etta, it looked less like a library and more like a dream someone had painted in starlight. A Zelvari archivist approached, a towering, luminous being, all fluid lines and crystalline facets. "Welcome, human," it hummed in a voice like wind through chimes. "You stand within the final archive. It holds the sum of all existence. Your presence will be observed, then recorded, then preserved." Etta tilted her head. "All existence?" she repeated, peering around. "That's nice. But where are the sketches? The poems? The messy love songs that make no sense? The mistakes?" The archivist shimmered in confusion. "We do not preserve errors or artistic interpretations. Only absolute truths." Etta laughed, a sharp, bright sound that cracked the air. "So you've got a whole universe full of knowledge, but no stories? No doodles on napkins, no angry margin notes in textbooks?" The archivist leaned closer. "Marginalia? We do not understand." Etta reached into her pack, pulled out her journal. In it, she'd scribbled everything: half-formed song lyrics, drawings of Saturn's moons with smiley faces, jokes she told herself to fight loneliness. She pressed it against the shimmering wall. Instantly, the Zelvari data lattice began to ripple. The journal's ink bled into the crystalline matrix, twisting equations into question marks, fracturing perfect star charts into flowing waves of colors and squiggles. One page read, "The stars look lonely tonight. Maybe they just need someone to hold them and whisper nonsense." Another page simply held a sketch of a fox riding a rocket labeled, "Why not?" The archive flickered. Other Zelvari arrived, swirling in alarm. Yet they found themselves drawn to the human's pages. They scanned them, again and again, captivated by the chaotic spark they had never considered worthy. Soon a change began. One Zelvari broke from the group and used its crystal fingers to etch its own idea, a swirl that looked like a falling star embracing a galaxy. Another dared to write a question beside a starlight equation. What if gravity dreams? They began scribbling in the margins. At first, only a few dared. But soon, entire sections of the archive bloomed with poems about the birth of quasars, fantastical fables of comets who fell in love with suns, and jokes scrawled beneath diagrams of neutron star collisions. The archive, once cold and sterile, pulsed with warmth. Etta watched as the towering beings gathered around her guitar. One tapped it experimentally. Another held her paint tubes and tried splattering color across the walls. A young archivist turned to her, humming. "What is this feeling? This urge to create something beyond fact?" Etta grinned. "That's what we call imagination. It's the thing that keeps us going when facts tell us to stop." Within cycles, the Zelvari transformed. No longer just observers of the universe, they became dreamers in it. Their archive stopped being a vault and became a living canvas, an endless poem stitched together by countless hands and thoughts. When Etta finally lay down to rest beneath the archive's shimmering canopy, she heard the new songs echo through the halls. Not sterile chants of truth, but wild, bright symphonies echoing across cosmic memory. The Zelvari had once believed they held everything. But it was a human, alone in the dark, who taught them that completeness is not perfection. It's the beautiful, impossible mess in the margins. They called it the final archive. But after Etta, it became the first dream.